Hi, this is Minister Yo. Welcome to another episode of the Ask Minister Yo podcast. Today's question comes from a single lady. So her question reads, Minister Yo, how long is too long to wait? Let me explain. I've been dating the same guy for about 7 years. And every time I ask him, when does he think he'll be ready to get married, he always comes up with a different excuse. His last excuse was that when he gets financially stable, then he'll pop the question, and that nobody's going to make him pop the question before he's ready to pop the question. Minister Yo, how long is too long? Wow. That is a good question. So, here's the issue with that. I know a lot of men. And all the men I know can testify and say that a man knows pretty quick if you're a keeper or somebody he gonna hang out with till something better comes along. Ooh, maybe that was too harsh. Let me say it different. Some men run into a nice girl and they say, she's nice, but she's not the one. But because she's nice, I don't want anybody else to get her. So I'm gonna do just enough to hold on to her until something better comes along. Did that sound better? I said the exact same thing. Some men are afraid of commitment. I was gonna say they are users. They're users. They're gonna be with you for what they can get from you, and they're not gonna commit to you, and they're gonna be gone. How do you know when it's too long? I can only speak for myself. My husband and I dated. We met New Year's Eve at Faith Chapel. We got engaged in June. That was about 6 months. To everybody else's surprise, that seemed very, very quick. But if you ask him, he'll tell you, I knew I didn't want her to get away. So I knew I had to do whatever it took to secure the bag. And I'm the bag. So for me, by the time we get to 4 to 6 months, you ought to be able to know something. You ought to be able to know, am I a keeper? Am I the top 3? You gotta be able to tell me something. I say 4 to 6 months is enough time for him to know if he wants to be in a committed relationship with you. Now, past a year, I'm thinking by the time we roll up on 8 months, 12 months, he ought to know I want to marry her. I think he knows it at 3 to 6 months. He might not tell you, but I think he knows. So for me, 365 days is too long to wait. But that's for me. I can't make that decision for you. But it's some questions you need to ask yourself. Because you need to make sure you're not in the friend zone. And you need to make sure you're not in the side piece zone. So if you're friends, you're kicking it, he never wants to hold your hand. He never wants to kiss you. He never wants to hold you. When y'all spending time together, y'all kicking it like two dudes. Yeah, you a friend. On the other hand, you don't want to be a side piece. Where the only time he sees you when he want to have sex. The only time he calls you is after 10 o'clock. You never get to meet his family. You never get to meet his female friends, because he has them. You never get to meet his guy friends. You're a side piece. You don't want to be in that category. You want to be his significant other. So I would say you've been waiting 7 years, and every time you ask him, every time you bring up the subject, it's an excuse. Minister Yo would say, it's time to bounce. 7 years is the number of completion. If it's been 7 years and he doesn't know if you're the one, you're not. That may hurt your feelings. You may say, I'd invested all this time in a relationship, but let me assure you, you're the only one investing. He's not. So, it's going to hurt your feelings. Maybe you living together. I don't know. Stay until you find somewhere else to be. Transition. Move out if you're living together. Find your own place. If he's paying bills, secure your own bag and be able to take care of your own self, so you won't have to tolerate being mistreated, because you are a good thing. And any man who is the right man will be able to know you are the good thing, and it won't take him 7 years. It won't take him a year. It may not even take him 6 months to know if God sent him. That's a whole nother conversation about the counterfeit that always comes before the original. And that's a video for another day. But I want to encourage you, young lady, you're worth more than that. And I encourage you to leave and believe that God has something better in store for you. That's my best shot. Until next time, go in God.